Hello, everyone. I'm Angelo Batio. Like every week, I'm going to wait till people get online. I'm starting to see people now. Yes. All right. Hello, Masako. How are you? RJ, hello. Yes. Hello. Robert says hello. Go to EPS Music. Yes, I see Alexis. Hello, Alexis. Caesar, hello. Hey, Denny, how are you? It's good to see you again. Let's see who else. We have Kevin and then Tanya, Hunter. Let's see. All right, we're getting some numbers here this week, like we do every week. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Cynthia, hello. How are you? It's good to see you. All right, I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Hi, Alexis. And then Christina, hello. How are you? From Germany. Yes. Roxana, hello. From South America. Yes. JD, how are you? The evil veggies for vegan. Remember, it all comes down to Satan. Right. Hey, Ben, how are you? Hopefully I'll see you on tour. Hey, Renee, how are you? Yes, nice to see you too. Okay, we've got a lot of people online. Yes, yes. Okay, all right, it's time to play. How are you? I love Japan. I feel good. Yes, hey, Howard, how are you? I'm doing great. I can't complain. But if you do complain, what can you do about it? That's the main thing. Hey, Ken, how are you? All right, so we have a lot of people. Okay. All right, I had to play a little bit that's one of my songs called The Finish Line. And somebody a long time ago, because it's one, hey, Bill, how are you? Bill Peck, great friend of mine. Somebody posted that a long time ago. This is from one of my earlier albums. I think it's my third solo album, and it was my third. And somebody called it, Yngwie Can't Touch This! And all of a sudden everybody goes, MVP sucks, bro! Did you see him? He's flaming the mighty Yngwie. I didn't flame anybody. I didn't even call it that. I call it the finish line. The finish line, you get it? Ha, 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 Joey, I'm the star. Okay, cool. Now, I think that Joey's got to calm down, but see, now he's a rapper. It is not Joey, it's Joey. But see, I keep writing it as Joey, but he's like, ow, that hurt. And he said, what are you doing? I am Joey, Joey, as in energetic. Is that it? I can use a lot of words. Anyway, I had to stop that for a second because why? My screen is flooded with posts and things. Now, I wanted to, on this lesson, answer questions that you had because, I mean, we've been going on over a year now. And I started this, believe it or not, in March of last year. And so, this is, let's see, nothing shows more talent than playing classical style and guitar. Well, I agree with that. I mean, I think there's a lot of styles. Jazz it shows a lot of talent too. But, one of the things I think about my song, The Finish Line, can you imagine with a symphony orchestra, just this? Just this. Sorry about that. Anyway, at the very end, I was looking to change. I saw something come in. Anyway, the bottom line is this. When you hear these arpeggios, and it's all different keys, and it's not Baroque. It has a style of Baroque, but it's not like the Yngwie, harmonic minor and state of these keys. It modulates all over the place. Yeah, it is hybrid picking. Oh, from Bangladesh, we even have fans showing up. Anyway, now I'm playing the ST M24 satin black. I love this guitar. Now here's what I really love about it. I'm playing a guitar that lists for around $250 US. And say, what is MAB says challenge accepted? What is somebody trying to challenge me on guitar? Let me tell you this. Anybody wants to challenge me on guitar, you have to do something. I have been signed to 2 major labels. Not 1, 2! So you need to get in the league, first of all, okay? So it's kind of like going to the whatever in mixed martial arts. You have to get in that league. Anybody can challenge anybody. I could challenge, a high school player or a college player. But if you really seriously want to challenge somebody, you need to be in that game. And to get in that game, you have to pass a few tests. You just don't challenge the big dogs, being somebody that's unknown. Now, granted, there's the David and Goliath syndrome, but I'm not pretending to be Goliath. And so, but, I get this all the time. Oh, dude, I'm faster than you, bro. So what? Who cares? I don't care. I'm fast enough. I'm really fast. And so, I kind of think about, this stuff like, is it the Olympics? But I also realized, too, I said this in an earlier show about, Beethoven did challenge people. And there were challenges, just like there's rap challenges now. But, I think with guitar challenges, I was with Herman Lee recently. We can have a shred off. I think it's friendlier nowadays, but my label actually wanted me to challenge Steve Vai to a duel on the double guitar. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have won. But I thought that music was not an Olympic sport. And even though I studied it, and I know that there were certain things, kind of competitions, but I thought it wasn't the same thing as today, But I'm just very grateful to all of you that keep showing up every week. And I, one of the things that I've really stood by over the years, I have a saying, you can't think outside the box unless you know what's in the box. But let me tell you a little bit about me. After being signed to 2 major labels, Warner Brothers twice, videos on MTV, everything you ever wanted to do growing up, I was able to do in my younger years. But I was a teacher. And I taught, I put out instructional programs. Tom Morello goes on Howard Stern and is talking about me because I really genuinely wanted to help. But I also realized this, when everybody, Crossroads, when everybody was, like, for example, Paul Gilbert, he said, oh, man, I'd rather play with the worst band ever than play with Trax. Well, I took that kind of as an insult because I had played with Trax for a long time, decades. Now, here's the thing about me. I don't care what he says. I'm a little insulted, but, this is the point, that I grew up playing with bands. I'm going to, this Saturday, play with Tom Holland, the original singer from Holland, and we're going to do the first show that I played in over a year together. And so, I'm not talking about proving anything. What I'm saying is this, that here's my mindset. Way back in the early 90s, when all these bands are going out and you're dealing with agents and really unscrupulous people that will look right in your eye and say, I'm going to give you this, and they don't give you nothing. I know, I was there. See, and Robert's pissed. He's always angry. See, Robert's the Incredible Hulk with a pick. He's always angry. And so here's the moral of my story. I said, you know what? I'm tired of playing in bands, and I'm tired of going on the road, and I'm tired of doing all this stuff. And so what I wanted to do is I started creating tracks. I started creating clinic tracks and tracks of my music that I could go out and play as a one-man show. This is before anybody even remotely thought of this stuff. And so, I mean, nobody was doing it. You know, if you saw somebody at a convention, they were just whittling around on a guitar. Here I come out with these full-blown tracks going, you know. Needless to say, I got a lot of shows. I wrote No Boundaries, you know, for exercises, but when I played it live, it was 3 minutes and 45 seconds of living death, reanimating the dead. It was like, whoa. And this is something that I did forever. So now let's look at the modern age here. What are young players doing? Playing the tracks. How many people are behind them? None. It's stuff that I've done for decades. And so, and then all these, you know, people see, and this is what I'm going to say about Paul Gilbert. Look, I love Paul Gilbert, but his thinking was absolutely wrong, because to say that is to criticize people who have found a way to get their music out there. And see, you know, yeah, it's really easy to say, oh, yeah, man, I hate arpeggios, bro. Or like, oh, I hate tracks, man. I'd rather play with a real band. Well, great. You're awesome, bro. You're like so awesome. But there is another side of this, and that is that it enabled me to travel to 58 countries and play more shows than Gilbert did. And so this is the point. And, you know, I don't talk about this that much, but it's time to really kind of figure all this out. I mean, even Yngwie has pared down his band, because I used to see these bands going out and these guys, you know, they're in big tour buses and all that. And honestly, I would kind of chuckle to myself, because I know they weren't making that much money. They act like rock stars. Oh, somebody said play Judas Priest. Now, what I'm using is the 40-watt Sawtooth tube amp, which I had a hand in designing, and I'm using this is the entry, this is not entry, this is the least expensive Sawtooth Mikey signature model. It is the ST, meaning Sawtooth, M24. It is in the $250 range. And it shreds! And it rocks! And it chugs. Robert loves this. Yeah, the guitar just sounds really, really great. And then when I put my string dampener down, it's really, then... I can do this all day. I can just play. This is how I practice sometimes. I'll just do something over and over, over and over, over and over. I'm not sick of it yet. Joey will not let me stop. It's like, no, gotta play more. More is more! 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 Ah! That's what I deal with on a daily basis. See? I told you, Angelo. I'm the star of the show, not him. This guy sucks. It's me, Joe E. What do you mean I suck? No, I'm the star. I don't care who anybody else. Robert is the angriest hand on planet Earth. This pick stops Robert from killing everyone. Robert is mean. Robert is angry. Robert is always ready to wreak havoc with a guitar pick. We pick hard. When I play... I play super hard when I play. Watch. And so what happens when I do that, one of the things is that when people get older, when when you play a lot, and as people get older in years, I was watching this really funny thing on the Graham Norton show. It had the Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and it also had Patrick Stewart and the Ian something, I don't know his last name, that played Magneto. And it showed Patrick Stewart as this young buffed, it's like, look at the muscle on this man. It's like, wait, okay, we can get it. It's pretty big. And so, you see Patrick Stewart as this young ripped dude, just ripped. And then you see, Wolverine now, and then Magneto, Ian McLaughlin. I don't know what Ian's last name is. I just know him. Everybody knows him as the actor. I mean, he was Gandalf, in Lord of the Rings, but he was Magneto, and I love all those movies. So anyway, Ian is sitting in the middle. Then there's Patrick Stewart on this side, Hugh Jackman on that side. Well, actually, it's reverse. He was on this side, and then Ian is talking about Hugh Jackman being seriously ripped for the Wolverine parts, and they show this picture of Patrick Stewart as a young man, all ripped, and now he's this old geezer now, and then Ian looks at Hugh Jackman, he goes. And like Patrick Stewart's kind of older and more frail now, and he goes, and this is what you have to look forward to as you get older. And Patrick Stewart's like, I thought it was hilarious. But the point is this, so what I'm trying to make is that you don't have to lose your skills when you get older. Look I'm not young anymore. I've been playing guitar my whole life. And so what I've done is first of all, I practice what I preach. I've taught some of the most famous guitar players in the world. My instructional programs are curriculums in universities, so what I've taught has stood the test of time. But I practice what I preach. And I love to play guitar, and I seriously, and I've said this, I just don't have any problems. I just don't. I don't have wrist problems. I don't have arm problems. I don't have rotator cuff problems. I have nothing. And so... And what do I attribute it to? I attribute it to vegan death metal. The enemy is meat! Die, meat! Die! Mosh to the death of meat. Now, I think back to reality here. Let's answer some questions. Play no boundaries. Okay, I guess that's a question. I don't have the backing track with me, but I can tell you what I did. No boundaries. The MAB string dampener is actually really great. What I did with no boundaries, I knew it was an exercise, but a lot of my music, what happens on the rhythm track happens on the lead track. For example, like this. The underlying rhythm to No Boundaries, I had to play exactly. Just like the old Nitro song. Okay, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm tuned up here. I put brand new strings on the guitar today, and it's not a locking trem, so it took me 10 minutes. And so, hail weed. Now, one of the things, my guitar still isn't in tune yet. Okay, I beat the heck out of these and I didn't stretch out. Oh, that's E, the low E. Okay, there we go. Now it's perfect. What I do is that somebody asked me, now I know I'm being a little disjunct here, but I do that in all the lessons because, you know, I'm dealing with a live audience here and I'm seeing every question, hundreds of questions coming in real time. And so, yeah, Cemetery Gates, I love that. I do a great tribute to Dime. Have you ever met Ray Comfort? You know, I'm sorry, I don't even know. I've never heard that name. Yes, the enemy. No, the enemy is not vegetables. The enemy is meat. Now, I'm not really a vegetarian. I mean, I don't eat meat all the time. But anyway, but, you know, getting back to No Boundaries, you know, I love John McLaughlin. Here's one of McLaughlin's riffs. One of the things that I loved about John McLaughlin is he was the one that made me realize about holding your fingers on the guitar. Sorry that my knuckles look a little big, it's just the lighting. Versus this. See how my hand doesn't rest on the guitar? See, I'm pretty good at it now. But I rest my hands on the guitar. But I've watched McLaughlin, and McLaughlin play like this. Versus me. Now, it sounds about the same, but I really love that free-floating mechanism. And so McLaughlin was the first one that introduced me to that when I saw him play, and then L.D. Miola, and then, you know, it goes on and on and on. And, but, you know, yeah, fan of Eric Johnson, of course. You know, I love a lot of guitar players, and I can say, honestly, I love them. I really do. You know, I really have I just look for and listen to a lot of guitar players, a lot, you know, and one of the things that I do when I hear new players is, you know, I love where guitar is going because it's so technical again. You know, the youngest generation isn't so concerned about being in or out of style. Like, I remember, you know, just getting, you know, people criticizing this. An arpeggio, a sweep technique, like, oh, like, that's not cool, dude. And I in all my years of studying music, I could really never understand why somebody would criticize that. You would never hear an orchestral player criticize a technique. That'd be insanity. Because if you're going to play Bartók, or you're going to play Schoenberg, or you're going to play Shostakovich or Bach, you need all the techniques you can muster, because you're going to find something you can't play if you limit yourself to certain techniques. But yet in our generation, it's kind of like, almost like media. Yeah, Robert Fripp, oh my God. And I love Robert Fripp. But the point, I'm sorry, I'm reading questions real time again. But the point is this, that, you know, a technique is only what you do with it. But if you don't learn it, if you refuse to learn, then you're just cheating yourself, because there's going to be other people like me who know it and say, too bad for you, dude, or dudette. Too bad for you. I have no mercy, because I know it. I don't care. Like, people ask about palm muting. Can you do it like... So there's a lot of things that I do playing on guitar. Like, I just look at any techniques as hey, if I can learn something new, you know, great. Okay, now I've done the shout outs. I haven't really, Left play, please. The internet nowadays, you still choose to go to the university. With the internet now, that's a great question. I'm going to answer some questions here, and I'm going to let Jerry. Listen, I'm going to let Angelo answer. Why? Because I'm the star, but I think he needs to answer this. Somebody asked a really good question. Oh, Robin Trower. I love Robin Trower. I love Mick Ronson, too. This is the question. It's a really good one. Would I still go to the university if the internet was there back then? And in other words, if I was young today, would I go to the university? I think my answer would still be yes. My nephew is going to be 20 years old, Alex, and he could have been a great guitarist. So I'm tuning up here real quick. Okay, everything looks good. And yeah, this guitar sounds great, Howard. Thanks. And so one of the things that I've learned, one thing that we didn't have when I was going to school, we didn't have people putting their point of view and teaching. See, this is a really important point. I don't feel that I'm a Republican or a Democrat, okay? And I don't mean that politically, I mean it musically. That, yeah, Ingve, of course, I love it. And so, and see, now teachers are too quick, in my humble opinion, but it's not so humble. They're too quick to give you their views of things. But see, I don't think that's being a good teacher. I think, oh, how do you get my double neck guitar? We are going to be releasing Sawtooth, a limited edition run of 50. And then I'll answer some of the questions of who I like. But this regarding going to school, my teachers, when I went to the university, I like Joe Stump, but I'm going to tell you, and Joe might be mad at me, Joe actually copied one of my things. He's copied me twice. And I know that he says he's not as influenced by Ingve, but Joe likes to unconsciously take a lot of stuff from a lot of people. So do I love Joe? Yes. But, he should give credit where credit's due. That's what I think about Joe Stump. Okay, I'm sorry, Joe, if you get mad at me, but that's what I think. And you took two things from me. You took this. And he also took one of my songs called Victim of Circumstance, and he called it Pistolero. Pistolero sounds very close to my song, Victim of Circumstance. So anyway, got to give credit where credit's due. Now, getting back to the university, is rap making a comeback? It's never left. It's like rock. Okay, I don't know about rap. Who cares about rap? Why did somebody even write that? Okay, anyway, getting back to the university thing. I just think that I'm a good teacher because of one thing. I don't teach you what I like or what I dislike. I teach you the techniques. Okay, we've got a guy that's political on here. Okay, let me tell you guys something. Okay, anyway, that comment's going to get banned. When I go offline, I'm going to look on it. And sorry, dude, if anybody writes political stuff or likes to be funny online, this is about Dick Wagner passed away. This is what I think about. You have to be respectful when you're on my pages. Okay, period, end of story, bottom line. I'm not disrespectful to you. If you want to play games, you don't get a second chance. I'm going to block you, period. So you think twice, man. You think twice before you shoot off your mouth behind a computer. Because if you do, I have one, you can go on any other site and flame me. I could care less. But you don't come to my house with dirty shoes and put them on my coffee table. Sorry, that's the way I think about it. And I'm very hardcore about that. I'm respectful to you. If you guys want to goof around, fine. It's your last time here. Okay, anyway, getting back to the university. I just think that a good teacher is supposed to be an impartial teacher, that you don't teach your point of view. That's not your job. And that's what's happening now in our universities and schools all over the U.S. and everywhere else. That it's kind of like learning music theory a new way today when Bach didn't think of it like that. And it's like learn the basics. And then, but don't tell people that you think Bach sucks or that this person's better or that we don't like John Lennon because we don't think he's a good person, but Paul McCartney's okay. Or, that kind of stuff is crazy to me. It's just learn the facts and make your own decision. And that's how I taught guitar. Okay, now I'm going to play a little bit more here. I can't say enough about this guitar. It's really amazing. It just rips, I mean, through this amp. Now, Britt. I had to do a little bit of that stuff. But anyway, that is, somebody asked if I remember Freight Train. Of course I remember it. Yeah, I play Freight Train all the time. I play a lot of the old songs. And so, but what I can tell you is this, okay, all music is good for the soul. Yeah, I believe that. I think anything, you know, I think all sincere music is good for the soul. I think not all music is great. You know, I think, you know, when I listen to, you know, like old Beatles songs or, you know, even old Metallica, you know, when I hear Master, I'm like, that's bad, dude. It's just bad. I mean, I remember hearing, oh, somebody keeps saying Nasty Reputation. Okay. Now, on the demo, we did not modulate, but on the album we did. For example, on the demo, it went like this. It's a Nitro song, by the way, people who don't know. Then we went. Nasty reputation, oh, oh, nasty reputation, oh, oh. Baby. And then I love this second part. Nasty reputation, oh, oh, nasty reputation, oh, oh. Killer song. And then of course we had like 1,000,000 octaves of vocals on there, you know, with harmonies, and you know, it's just really cool. But on the album we probably did something that if I would have redone it, we modulated it, and it was my idea, and it wasn't exactly the right idea. When we did, that's really how the song went. What we did, but it worked out really good for the harmonies. We went like this. Then we played it intro. Then we went nasty reputation. Oh. So we modulated it up a whole step, and I think it lost a little bit of the meanness of the song. But the cool thing was, we were able to do these really intense background vocals where they just, it's like, they weren't even they were non-chord tones. And what happened was these backgrounds just took on a life of their own because we flew them in parts where it really shouldn't have worked, but it worked in some crazy way. But that's a great question. Is this an E standard tuning? Yes, it is. What do you think about Jason Becker? Well, I think he was an amazing guitar player, and I feel, terrible, about what happened to him, and that he's actually, I was on Herman Lee's Twitch channel a couple weeks ago, and it was a benefit for Jason Becker, and I played my Gibson double. Now, Sawtooth is releasing a limited edition double guitar, 50 pieces only, and some of them are already sold. And so they're going to go really fast. And I have to brag a little bit, but every one of my signature guitars with Sawtooth has been successful, every single one. And I'm not lying. I'm not a good liar. I don't believe in lying, because you don't ever have to remember the truth. The truth is the truth, and the truth is I'm the star. See what I mean? And so, but if you don't lie, you don't have to worry about remembering anything. You don't have to. Who remembers the truth? You just say the truth. The truth is the truth. And so, but all my signature guitars have done great, all of them. And I'm really grateful for that. But we're such a the Holland record on iTunes. Yeah, it's really killer. What about John Petrucci? But anyway, getting back to Sawtooth. We're releasing a limited edition. And when you spoke about Jason Becker, we did a benefit for Jason Becker. Even Marty Friedman was a part of it. And I think all these guitar players that you guys are mentioned, how do you like Dean guitars? I don't like them. The owner died. And I left for a reason. So did Dave Mustaine, Vinnie Moore, everybody left. Maybe somebody from them posted that question, but I'm not with them for a really good reason. And Dave Mustaine's got a really good reason, and Vinnie Moore's got a really good reason, and Rusty Cooley's got a really good reason, and also Jackie Vincent. So who do they have left? I mean, who cares? But I loved the old Dean when Elliott was the owner. The new Dean, I could care less about. I don't even know I just don't care. So that's where it comes down to. It's not the same company. It's completely different. And I'm just happy to be with who I'm with. Sawtooth smokes them in every way. And the people are good people here. The old owner of Dean was a good person. And that's what I care about a lot. I work with people that work with companies. I don't just work with a company. If I can't honestly wear a T-shirt of that company, I can't endorse them. I swear to God. In my heart, if I don't believe in something, I can't sell it. And we sell ourselves every day, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. When you don't believe in something, then you can't. How can you? People. Then you're a liar. Then you're a liar. You're not honest, and I just can't be like that. I'd rather. I don't want to do things that I just don't want to do. And I'm in a position to be like that. I don't have to do things. And that's a nice position to be in. I'm busy enough. It's not like I have to go out and worry about money or go worrying about my career. I work super hard. And, if you notice with the show, I'm always on time. I care about people. I help people. And I help myself. I'm older now, but I don't look super old because I take care of myself. I'm not a druggie. I'm not a big drinker. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed. People know every time I take a hit of pot, I'm like, oh my God, I've discovered the meaning of life. Whose life? Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? Who am I with? Because I just don't understand the cosmos, And then I start thinking, are we really in a matrix? Is this really all an illusion? Are we like a little speck of sand on a big beach? So I said, well, I think I better not do that. But anyway, now I've talked about, your question's answered. I've talked about the M24. I'm saying this is the best guitar on the market for the price. It just is. It just rips. And what I'd like to also say, too, is that there are three parts of Sawtooth. Sawtooth guitars, obviously, Sawtooth drums, Sawtooth basses, Sawtooth keyboards. They have an array of instruments in their line. But there's two other main companies. There's Chromacast. Chromacast Music Products, if you go to all the big chains, online, And when you order guitar stands, strings, picks, it's all, yeah, Sawtooth amps. And I'm using an incredible 40-watt amp. I'm going to be using it this weekend. It's got a vintage 30 in it. It's got 40 watts of depth. It just sounds amazing. It's got a great overdrive channel. Great clean channel. Now I'm using a little bit of compression. My signature delay, the blue light, is going through the effects loop, and I use a little bit of reverb on the amp. That's all I use on it. And then I mean, it just got such a great sound. But what they also have with ChromaCast is every musical part you can imagine. And then there's a third component to this company, Go DPS Music. And Go DPS Music is the retail side. And so what we did with Go DPS Music is created an app. And this app is amazing. It's, first of all, it's 100% free. And it's free in perpetuity. You know, I mean, it's free now, and not 3 months you're going to get charged whatever a month. You're not. It's free. And so I can't say, you know, forever and ever and ever, who knows in 1,000 years what'll happen, but it's free. And so the cool thing is, if you can order any of the products through the app, if you do, you get an automatic 20% off. And so it's incredible. Now, we also do lessons there, and I have the MAB band, which we do some really great stuff. Everything from Beatles. Like our first video series is that we did a lot of cover songs, and I wanted to show people kind of the Mikey jamming side. And it's really fun. I mean, like, just even... You know, and there's so many cool things that we do on this app. So you can see a live concert of the MAB band, which was live, filmed live, edited, not edited, I mean, it filmed live and then edited for the app. And so we edited all the songs into one concert and edited them to one song at a time. But we also did another concert with me on guitar, Vinny Appice, the drummer from John Lennon, Dio, and Black Sabbath, and then Rudy Sarzo on bass, Quiet Riot with Randy Rhoads, Ozzy with Randy Rhoads, Whitesnake, and I mean, and then we had Melody from the band Liliac, and she's a young up-and-coming singer. She's, you know, not even 21 yet, and she's amazing, an old soul vocally. And so we did Holy Diver. And wait till you hear this, and it's available on the app. So all you have to do is just download the app, whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone. It doesn't matter. Download the app for free, and you get all this content for free. Not only do you get all this content for free, if you order a music product, anything, through the app, you get an automatic 20% discount on anything across the board. It's really incredible. Now, one last thing I'm going to say before I go is that my YouTube channel I've posted over 100 videos on it now. My YouTube channel, just Angelo Batio, you'll see it, just, you know, check it out on YouTube, but go to the YouTube page, check out the videos like this. Every time we do one of these live streams here on Facebook, it's automatically within the day transferred to YouTube. But I mean, listen to this guitar. You know, I mean, you can get really great, or like. Just got a great clean sound. Or I can do one of my songs. I'm going to tune this down. I'm going to show you, like, for example, this. This song is called Pray on Pray. And this song is just so cool. And listen to how good it stays in tune. I mean, it just stays in tune great. And you know, I mean, there's no locking trem. It's super easy to use. But anyway, I just want to say this, that I really appreciate each and every one of you coming here every week. I'm going to continue to do this until I go on tour. It looks really good that I'll be on tour in the United States in September. And we're going to be doing the VIP Masterclass again. But, you know, the whole United States is opening up. The whole world's opening up again. And, you know, I felt this week I wanted to be a little more serious about things because I take music really seriously. And I also, you know, it's just gotten to the point where, you know, people can criticize, people can do whatever they say, you know, and even, you know, these rock stars that, you know, they postulate and they talk about, well, I wouldn't do this because it's not cool, or I won't do this. The youngest generation of guitar players thinks differently. And you know what? They think like I thought. And what I mean is that, like, you know, to hear a Paul Gilbert, oh, I don't like tracks. Well, screw you. Who are you? You know, who are you to say? Why don't you use a track? You know, like, okay, play blues. It doesn't matter. You know, or say, you know, oh, I don't like arpeggios. Well, who are you to say that you don't like arpeggios? Paganini liked arpeggios. Bach liked them. Mozart liked them. And it's like everybody's so hypercritical in these days. And see, this is what my whole teaching, my whole methodology is the antithesis and the opposite of this. It is to embrace one thing, technique, two things, music. Use any technique you can to develop the music you can. And what's so wrong with tracks? What are all these young guitar players doing? Tracks, my friends. So the people that criticize, the youngest generation didn't listen. The youngest generation of musicians get, exactly, Buckethead's a great example. And so to criticize by just, you know, it's like saying, yes, 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 no, 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 no. That's all it sounds like. That's what my ears hear. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want anyway. But I can tell you this, I did things to not only help me, but to help you. And I thought if I could answer your questions in the best possible way, it could only help me. And so so that's the whole point. But anyway, enough of the world according to Michael. Joey! And Robert, he's angry. I would like to say this. I'm Angelo Batio for Sawtooth Guitars, Sawtooth Amps, ChromaCast, and Goaty PS Music Live. They rule. See ya.